I ain't looking for no votes. Sticking to the book. Let's listen to it. Beautiful. Real shooter, man. That's when iron. Iron. That's what today is about. My warriors know that sound. Calm before the war, before the battle. You know what I mean? I got the requirement. Yeah, warriors to the body. All one body. Ask somebody. Ask somebody. I think that Woo. Y'all don't hear what that boy talking about. Wake up our people. Right. Oh yes. You ready, baby? Yeah, just put a little frankincense and myrrh in here. Let him peasy end off that. That was absolutely beautiful. That's real Judah through the fire. Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. I am your humble servant and host in a biblical sense, that host. Yes, all praise unto the Most High. In the building, I got my butter pecan, my rib, Miss Artist 28. My young and Bella son is gone for the weekend by his pop, so we in here like young kids, solo dolo in here, reliving our, romantic days. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When before we had responsibilities, Yes, but it's all good. It's good on these Fridays, on this Shabbat, man, for rejuvenation, to kick yourself back in from a long week. to enjoy the rest and the peace that the Most High has provided for you, man. Everybody can't say that. Everybody can't say they got peace on this Saturday. They got some people running around right now, crying, fighting, trying to make it to this place, trying to make it to that place, trying to spend all their money. And we have peace right now. We'll have a day for that. They got the other 6 days for us to follow into that type of stuff. But we are burning our frankincense and myrrh. You know, the last couple of weeks, I see Jeanette is in the building. You know, last couple of weeks, man, we have been attacking some very deep subjects and concepts. We have gone through history and we have compared and correlated our captivities, the wars, our migrations, along with the names of the gods that we started speaking on and worshiping every time we were taken into captivity, every time we were paying tribute to a new nation. Time the era changed. A new God came in and we were worshiping that God. We are presently in the era of Jesus, Jesus, and Allah and Muhammad. Before we were in Baal and Asherah. Before that we was in what's that boy? Start with an S. Saigon and Moloch, right? And before that we had Enki and Enlil. Oh man, we've gone through some different gods eras, baby. But this week I didn't want to go deep. I wanted to bring it back. I wanted to slow it down. We all understand the etymologies, and we've gone through etymology being the, the study of words, where the origin of words. Let's say Gwen is in the building. We understand that etymology is the origin of words. So it doesn't matter what you're saying out of your mouth and what you think you're saying out of your mouth. I'm going to say it again. You can have a whole sentence that you just spoke and you think it means one thing. But when you go to etymology at the word that you're actually used to make that sentence may mean something totally different. I really want you to wrap your mind around that, because that is the spell that we're under in this present time. That the words that we speak, we've been given new definitions, new meanings to them, and then now we're using them in manners that really isn't to our benefit. Our benefit is going back to the origin. So that's what we did the last 3 shows. We did 2 parts and an extra show on the etymology of gods and Baal and all these different names. Again, this week, I want us to go back to the story, to understanding who we are. Now that you understand these definition of these words and the definition of these gods, now we can go back to the beginning and see what the Most High said to us from day one. So we're going to Jubilees. I know many would think we're going to go to Genesis for the day one. We're going to go to Jubilees because Jubilees is given to Moses as the 10 Commandments was given to Moses, as the Torah was given to Moses. What you have is a secondhand and a full story. Same story. Not like the Old Testament and New Testament were 2 different stories. No, we're talking Jubilees is the same story, just elaborated in Jubilees, as opposed to the concise, quick, bullet points that they went through in Genesis to get us through the 5 books of Moshe. Now, before we get into these scriptures and read, we want to go ahead and blow the shofar as a customary to what our tribes did when we called the tribes together so that they could hear the word. So we're going to do that now. We're going to blow the shofar. But as we are blowing the shofar, we're standing to the east and we're going to have a prayer. What is that prayer, Kayel? Well, the prayer is going to be that the words that I'm reading, the scripture, is the answer to the questions that the Most High has been giving you, that's been internally inside you, that you have come here and hopefully can get answers for. Not my commentary, not my extra words, not my explanations, but when you hear the words that I read directly, that will speak to you, and the Most High will talk to you about his words, not my extra commentary. When you accept the voice inside of you talking to you about these words. We pray that the Most High levels you up when those words resonate with you, and you realize that the Most High's words is the truth. So let's stand to the east, and we're going to blow the shofar. We're standing to the east because that's where the sun comes out every day, where the windows of Shemayim, that's the heavens, open. So we're sending our prayers to the heavens. So let me go and blow the shofar. To the east. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. All praise to the Most High. So let's get into this Jubilees, because Jubilees, now a lot of people have questions about Jubilees because, well, it's not canonized. And what is canonized? Canonized means that it is approved by the Catholic Church, Esau. Well, we understand that we do not allow Esau or Edom to dictate what we can read or tell us what is divine. This Jubilees was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls. Several copies of Jubilees was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls in Qumran, in the displaced communities that were running from the Esau, from Rome. So we're going to read this and understand that this is a game. The same Genesis that you've heard of, but now that you understand etymologies and the fact that the Most High cannot stand for you to worship his creations over him, we look and hear this with a different ears and different eyes. So this says, 1. And it came to pass in the first year of the Exodus. So where is Jubilee starting out? It is starting out at the first year of Exodus. This is where it's putting us to the people that received this information. Was the Hebrews that first came out of Egypt with Moshe. And it said the children of Yasharallah out of Mizraim in the 3rd month on the sixth day of the month. See, Genesis does not get into months and days. That's what makes this a breakout and more explanation, right? So it's a historical reference, right? It says on the month that the Most High spoke to Moshe, saying, "Come up to me on the mount, and I will give you 2 sephers, not stone, 2 sephir stones of the Torah and of the commandments." So when you see the brothers in the Hebrews and they have the blue ribbon right by their fringes, it is because of these sapphire stones that is being spoken of right here. In Genesis, they just tell you he just wrote it on two rocks, right? And they gave you the 10 commandments. That's what you always see. Every time they show a picture of Moses standing up with the 10 commandments, he got 2 rocks with some engraving, but it was on sapphire. Meaning that you can't just write on top of diamonds. You can't just write on top of gems. Like you can write on top of a rock. Do you get it? When the Most High is telling you that he wrote it on sapphire, he's trying to explain how divine and how impossible it would be for man to write these laws. That's what he's trying to tell you when he says it's on sapphire. It was written on a jewel. Huh? A carved? Carved. Oh, yeah, carved, exactly. On sapphire stone of the Torah and of the 10 commandments, which I have written that you may teach them. So do y'all get that? You've been told that Moses only got the 10 commandments, not the whole Torah. That the Most High wrote the whole Torah. So when they say, oh, it's fake because Moses couldn't have wrote about it because Moses was supposedly dead when he wrote this. Well, it was written before Moses died. Moses knew of his death, just the same as Elijah knew he would be taken and transfigured and would not have a human death. The same way that Elisha, when they went to Jericho and when they went to Ekron, I think, they said, hey, you know that your master's going to be taken today? They all knew. Was that written on the stone? Was that in their hearts? So it says, I will give you 2 sapphire stones of the Torah and of the commandment, which I have written, that you may teach to them. And Moshe went up into the mount of the Most High, and the glory of the Most High abode on Mount Sinai. And a cloud overshadowed it 6 days. So 6 days, this cloud was covering this, where Moses was up there speaking with the Most High, and he's engraving and giving these tablets unto Moshe, which is the Torah and the 10 Commandments. Now, if you don't believe this, but you believe that Jesus died and rose in 3 days, then I ain't nothing I can talk to you about. There ain't nothing we can discuss. See, you want your supernatural story to be real and not mine. That can't really work, can it? Either we got supernatural things happening or we don't. Can't split it up like that, baby. Right? So it says 4. And he called to Moshe on the 7th day out of the midst of the clouds, and the appearance of the glory of the Most High was like a flaming fire on top of the mountain. So now it's telling you that the Most High put himself in a physical form to see Moshe, and the physical form was fire. Not a sun, not a European with long stringy hair, but a fire. Y'all getting it? See, we got to go back. We got to go back to understanding the core. What was given to us in the beginning? What was said to us in the beginning? Before we get all these philosophies about men and sons and this and that, it says here that Moshe on the 7th day out of the midst of the cloud, and the appearance of the glory, not the Most High, but the appearance of his glory, the thing that represented the Most High in a physical form, was in the form of a flaming fire on the top of the mountain. And Moshe was on the mount 40 days and 40 nights. And the Most High taught him the earlier and the later history of the divisions of all the days of the Torah and of the testimony. So not only did Moshe go up to the clouds and get the 10 Commandments, he didn't come marching right back down. He was up there for 40 days, getting tutorials and taught by the Most High the things that were before him, such as Atlantis or the pre-Adam days when he flooded everything out because of the horrible things that was happening during the time of Adam. So he gave him all these things leading up to now, up until his point, and what was going to happen in the future. So he tells him, verse 6, and he said, incline your heart to every word which I shall speak to you on this mountain, and write them in a sefer, in order that their generations may see how I have forsaken them for all the evil which they have wrought in transgressions, in transgressing the covenant which I established between you and between me and you and their generations this day on Mount Sinai. So what is the Most High saying in verse 6? Even though they are just come out of Egypt and doing all of the evils that they did, the Most High is saying that I'm here now to forgive for all the things that you've done, for all the actions of worshiping Osiris, worshiping any of those alligator Egyptian gods that you may have worshiped. in your captivity. It's very important because we're in captivity now. So if the Most High acted this way then, we should understand he's going to act that way again, right? Because he says he doesn't change. So here, the Most High said, and he said, incline your heart, incline your heart to every word which I shall speak to you on this mount, and write them in a sefer, in order that their generations may see how I have not forsaken them for all their evil. For all the evil which they have wrought in transgressing the covenant which I established between you for their generations this day on Mount Sinai. So, to truly explain that, the Most High is telling Moses, right, not only have I given you this sefer, but you're going to write in a book for everybody else to pass along. Everybody can't pass along the sapphire tablets, can they? So, for everyone else to be able to read, for us to be literate, so everyone can read for themselves, so that the words that are written, they can make a direct connection to the Most High. He tells Moses to write this so that in the future, when they are going through their ills, that they'll know that it wasn't like this in the beginning, that you're only going through this because you are not turning back to this law that I've given Moses and this covenant that we and your forefathers agreed to on this Mount Sinai. Are we understanding? So let's go. Verse 7. And thus it will come to pass when all these things come upon them. So the Most High is speaking in the future. It will come to pass that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments. Ooh, this is the biggest, that's big, right? That's monumental. You say, well, how, Kayel? How is that monumental? That the Most High, of course, he's supposed to be the supreme God. Then, of course, he will be more righteous than our judgments. No. Don't gaslight this. You follow the law of this world. You follow Trump. You follow the judicial system, the Supreme Court. You adhere. In fact, you beg for us to become politicians so that we could change the laws because you believe those laws, those judgments are more righteous. And the Most High said, no, my law is more righteous than the judgments and the laws that you have in the land, in the governments that you are following. That's what this is saying. I really want y'all to be clear. I really want you to be clear. There ain't a god doggone law in the United States that's more righteous than the Ten Commandments. And if it is a righteous law, they took it from the Ten Commandments. I bet you. I put money on it. Find me one. Find me one. Most High says that they will recognize that I am more righteous than they in all their judgments and in all their actions. And they will recognize that I have been truly with them. Oh. Y'all can gaslight these words and not meditate on these words. Y'all can let a pastor read it for you. You can let the New Testament steal these words and tell you at the end that he, the Most High, is truly with you in Jesus' name, because that's all they do is add his name at the end. Right? They take the real words and then they just say, in Jesus' name. Not that Jesus said it, but you're going to say it in his name. Do you even get what you say when you speak things? Oh, in Jesus' name. No, it's not that he said it. Jesus didn't say a damn thing. You saying it. You're reciting what the Most High said, and now you're saying it in somebody else's name. No, I say it in Kayel's name. I claim the victory in this house in Kayel's name, unto the Most High, my Father. Yeah, in my name. Let's go. It says, verse 8. And do you write, it says, and do you write for yourself all these words which I declare unto you this day, for I know their rebellion in their stiff neck, before I bring them into the land of which I swore to their fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob, to Jacob, saying, unto your seed will I give land flowing with milk and honey. Again, What time frame is this? This is the time frame from our last 2 lessons of the etymology of your gods. That we were in the wilderness before we got to Jerusalem. We were out of Mizraim, and the Most High gave us Moses, gave us the tablets, gave us the Torah, and gave us the law. And for 40 years, he trained us. Moshe was in the clouds with the Most High for 40 nights. We were in the wilderness for 40 days. Do you get the similarities? Are you following how the story continues to connect? Moses learns in 4 days and 4 nights. We have to learn in 40 years because we were rebellious, because we wouldn't let go the ways of Egypt. We still wanted the ways of Egypt. They told Moshe, we would have been better if you left us in Egypt, man. They would rather be oppressed because they thought they was free, just like you think you free right now. Just like you think you free, and all you need to do is get you a black president or a black attorney general or a black this or a black that. Silly ass. I'm talking to you. Silly. Because the Most High says he is more righteous than any of the judgments of the land. So if we get on his side, then we could actually dictate to the others, because our actions would show that we were worthy of being seen as leadership because of our righteousness, not because of our skin color, but because of our righteousness. Ooh, what a thought, that our leadership is predicated upon how much of a righteous life they live. But y'all rather this system, though. The system where you can just pay somebody, you can pay this, and you can get where you need to go as long as you got the bag. Verse 9, and they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange Elohims, strange gods. The Most High he's telling Moses, look, I'm giving this all to you. I'm giving you the game. But trust me, the people that I'm having you lead, they're stiff-necked, and they are going to go back and worship other gods. Strange Elohims. Y'all don't think your Muhammad and your Allahs are strange. You don't think your Jesus, your Yahweh is strange. It's very strange. And it says, and they will eat and be satisfied, and they will turn to strange Elohims, to Elohims which cannot deliver them from out of their tribulation. So you're praying, and we're still in prison, and you're wondering why. And these witnesses shall be heard for a witness against them. Whoa. So it says, not only are you not paying attention that you're following a false god, but these false gods will be a witnesses against you. Oh my goodness. It says, and these witnesses shall be heard for a witness against them. For they will forget all my commandments. Ask anybody his commandments. They don't know them. You walk up to any random person. Now, what's the 10 commandments of Moses? They're gonna give you, kill, should not steal, be right, be nice. No, that ain't it. No. That ain't no. And the Most High is telling you right here in Jubilees, when he's got Moses on the mountain, when we were traveling in this desert for 40 years, Shalom, my brother, I see in the building, traveling all these years, that they were going to forget the commandments. And we have. We really don't like the first 4. Because the Catholic Church, Esau, said that they could change. To see Brother Boots in the building. The Catholic Church, Esau, the devil said that he could change the Sabbath to Sunday by his authority. Wow. So the Most High says in verse 10, for they will forget all my commandments, even all that I command them, and they will walk after other nations, and after their uncleanliness, and after their shame, and will serve their Elohim. So the Most High said, no, not only are we going to serve the Jesus gods and the Yod-Hey, Wah-Heys, and all that bull crap, but we're going to try and be the filthy as them. We're going to try and be as whorish as them. We're going to try and be as pimpish and gangster as them. If you don't know the mafia, if you don't know true gangsters, then you don't understand the political scene. You don't understand what these Khazarians is doing on a major gangster way. The Khazarians is stealing all your tax dollars while you up there in your house with all them guns and all that tough talk and all you women with all your fingers snapping and what you ain't gonna let nobody do. The Khazarians just stole all your damn money, got rid of all your jobs, got your kids in dumb education, and you ain't doing nothing to them. You can't do them a damn thing with your fingers snapping and your neck rolling, with your guns and your bravado. You can't do a damn thing. Talking about a vote. Negro, please, a vote. They got a system in place, and you are fighting to be in it. You are mad because you can't buy your kids some gifts at Christmas. You mad because somebody tell you that ain't what we do. You just we tell you, hey man, we don't worship that. That's not what we do. We don't do that ancestral African worship. It's called divination. We don't do divination. We don't believe in multiple gods and multiple entities and this and that and Harry, Dick, and Tom. We don't believe in that. We got one creator who gave us a law. It's simple, but they complicate it so much because they're in captivity or because they're in these nations and they think Billy is balling and they want to be like Billy. Or they want to be so rich that they can look like the anti-Billy in front of Billy. I want to like Jay-Z's dumbass famous word. I can wear do-rag wherever I want to the award shows. You got pride in wearing. You got pride in wearing the white boy uniform in front of the white boy, and that's your pride. That's when you hang your hat on that. Y'all hang your hat on that. I hang my hat on following the laws and commandments of the Most High in the midst of evil, even when that evil is somebody in my family that I may love and respect, like a grandmother or an aunt or mother-in-law. Where's your gangster then when you have to tell your loved ones that they're in error and you got to stand on the ridicule of being the only one that knows the truth? That's gangster. That's standing on the Most High. Yeah. See. So as it says here, we will leave him and we will seek after the filth of the nation in which we're in. We're gonna be like pigs slopping it up to where we can't live with a meal without some pork in it. Verse 11. And many will perish, and they will be taken captive and will fall into the hands of the enemy because they have forsaken my ordinances and my commandments, and the feast of my covenant and my Sabbath, which we are celebrating, and my holy place, which I have sanctified for myself in their midst, and my tabernacle and my sanctuary, which I have sanctified for myself in the midst of them, that I should set my name upon it, and that it should dwell there. And they will make to themselves high places and Asherah poles. Y'all know what Asherah poles? It's the same thing we call a totem pole in these Indians here. The ones that praise the effigies, that want to carve things in wood and give honor and praise to them. That's an Asherah pole, totem pole. They've been doing it since they was in the east. They brought it all the way over here to the west. Yeah, they did. And it says, will worship each his own graven image, so as to astray, and they will sacrifice their children to devils and to all the works of the error of their hearts. Y'all think that the child pornography industry, let me put it like this. When R. Kelly first went down and they found the tapes and they had him and the little girls, do y'all remember Sparkle, who was one of his artists? They served up their daughter to him. Yeah. They had given him a contract and that he could spend time and do things with the daughter. Yeah. Yeah. They give to the devils in many ways. When parents are so happy about their children going off to college and we're sending them off and we're like, what fraternity, what sorority are you going to join? You need to get into the system. The system that oppresses us every day, we send our children to the universities to get into the Greek fraternity, the Hellenic councils to govern and to discipline and to subdue our own people. And they say, if you haven't gotten a degree and you haven't been a part of this Greek society, then you're less than the rest. You're, the worker class. Oh, yeah. And as we go on, and it says, verse 12, and they will make themselves high places, Asherah poles, and they will worship each their own graven image, so as to go astray, and they will sacrifice their children to devils and to all the works of the error of their hearts. And I will send witnesses unto them. So the Most High is saying that you won't do this because it's out of your heart to do. Not that they're going to make you. It's going to be in a desire of your heart to serve your child up. That I may witness against them, but they will not hear, and will slay the witness also. And they will persecute those who seek the Torah. I'm sorry, guys. So, as it says here, persecute those who seek. So it says, a witness to them, but they will not hear, and will slay the witnesses also. And they will persecute those who seek the Torah. They will persecute those who seek the Torah. And they will abrogate and change everything so as to work evil before my eyes. So the Most High is saying that they're going to change books, they're going to change time, they're going to change laws, they're going to change everything. They're going to alter the abrogate means to abbreviate. They will shorten things so that it can work for their reason, for their good, so they can twist it language-wise, right? It says, verse 14, and I will hide my face from them, and I will deliver them unto the hand of the other nations for captivity, and for a prey, and for devouring, and I will remove them from the midst of the land, and I will scatter them amongst the nations, and they will forget all my Torah and all my commandments and all my judgments, and will go astray as to new moons and Sabbaths and feasts and Jubilees and ordinances. So they're going to create their own. The Most High says, yes, that's what they call holidays. If you don't know, that's what a holiday is. Right? And it says, verse 16, and after this, they will turn to me from amongst the other nations with all their heart and with all their soul and with all their strength. And I will gather them from amongst all the other nations and they will seek me, so that I shall be found of them when they seek me with their hearts and with their soul. So it's not enough for you just to say it. It's not enough for you just to speak it. It's not enough for you just to hear it. It's not enough for you just to read it. I'm going to say it again. It's not enough for you just to hear it. It's not enough for you just to speak it. It's not enough for you just to read it. It is you have to seek him with your heart and with your entire soul. And I will disclose to them abounding peace with righteousness, and I will remove them the plant of uprightness with all my heart and with all my soul, and they shall be for a blessing and not for a curse, and they shall be the herd and not the tail, the head and not the tail. And I will build my sanctuary in their midst, and I will tabernacle with them. That means he will be with us when we are in this Shabbat. And I will be their most high, and they shall be my people in truth and righteousness. And I will not forsake them nor fail them, for I am the most high. And Moshe fell on his face and prayed and said, O Most High Shaddai, do not forsake your people and your inheritance, so that they should wander in the error of their hearts, and do not deliver them unto the hands of their enemies, the other nations, lest they should rule over them and cause them to sin against you. So Moses is like, man, I heard everything you said, Most High. Well, let me just, tell you that. Not that you don't know this, but you know my people stiff neck, Most High. If you let them go into captivity, they're definitely gonna sin. They're gonna follow them. Please don't. But because of their sin, they had to go. So the Most High says, and rule over them and cause them to sin against you. Verse 21, let your mercy, O Most High, be lifted up upon your people, and create in them an upright ruach, an upright spirit. And let not the ruach of Baal rule over them, accuse them before you, and to ensnare them from all the cycles of righteousness, so that they may perish from before your face. I don't know if y'all understand what is being done in this writing. This is Jubilees. The Most High is telling us that the gods that we pray to, the things that he created, that y'all are praying to, they are going to bear witness against you for praying to them. I mean, man, listen to it. He says, and let not the ruach of Baal rule over them to accuse them before you. So you got the devil ruling over you that's going to accuse you of following him to the Most High. And to ensnare them from all the cycles of righteousness, so that they may perish from before your face. Verse 22. But they are your people and your inheritance, which you have delivered with your great power from the hands of Mizraim. Create in them a clean heart and a ruach hakodesh, and let them not be ensnared in their sins from henceforth until eternity. The Most High said to Moshe, I know their contriteness, their contrariness. I know y'all contrariness and their thoughts and their stiff-neckedness, and they will not be obedient. They will confess their own sin and the sin of their fathers. He's telling them. And after this, they will turn to me in all uprightness with all their heart and with all their soul. And I will circumcise the foreskin of their heart and the foreskin of their heart of their seed. And I will create in them a ruach hakodesh, and I will cleanse them, so that they shall not turn away from me from that day unto eternity. And their souls will cleave to me and to all my commandments, and they will fulfill my commandments, and I will be their father. So the Most High it's an if-then statement. If you're going to be his child, then you're going to fulfill his commandments. Their father, and they shall be my children. And they all shall be children of the living Most High. And every angel and every ruach shall know, yea, they shall know that these are my children, and that I am their father in uprightness and righteousness, and that I love them, And do you write down for yourself all these words which I declare unto you on this mount, the first and the last, which shall come to pass in all the visions of the days in the Torah, and in the testimony, and in the weeks, and in the Jubilees unto eternity, until I descend and tabernacle with them throughout eternity. So in this, it knocks out Jesus again, because the Most High says he's returning. He just told Moses that I know my people are stiff-necked. I am going to give them the spirit, but the one that's going to turn back to me, those are the ones that all people and all spirits are going to know that's my children. And those will be here to be righteousness on this earth until I return and tabernacle with them, live in the house with them. Verse 28. And he said to the angel of presence, write for Moshe from the beginning of creation till my sanctuary has been built among them for all eternity. Oof. And the Most High will appear to the eyes of all, and all shall know that I am the Most High, and of Yasharallah, and the father of the children of Yaakov, and the king of Mount Zion for all eternity. And Zion and Jerusalem shall be holy. And the angel of presence who went before the camp of Yasharallah took the tables of the vision of the years from the time of creation to the Torah, and the testimony of the weeks of the Jubilees, according to the individual years, according to all number of Jubilees, according to the individual years, from the day of the new creation, when the heavens and the earth shall be renewed, and all their creations according to the powers of the heavens, and according to all the creations of the earth, until the sanctuary of the Most High shall be made in Jerusalem on Mount Zion, not Sinai, but Mount Zion, and all the luminaries be renewed for healing and for peace and for blessings and for the elect of Yasharallah, and that thus it may be from the day unto all days of the earth. And we know that the Most High said the earth abides forever. You know, that's a lot of information. The Most High is given to Moshe in just one chapter, breaking down the times, giving him the history of the beginning of time up until now, until the time when there was a tabernacle that David would build, because in the time of Moshe, there was no tabernacle built, right? It was Solomon that built it, right? After David, after Jericho, after Joshua. So when we're talking about this, and as he's talking to Moshe in the past, the present, and the future. And what's going to be the finality of this is that our people are going to go through a time of being stiff-necked and refusing the Father and following the nations that we will be in captivity under, and we will be in pain, that we would be punished. We'll be going through these trials and tribulations until we return unto his law and his commandment. And then he will come and tabernacle with us. I said I was going to read chapter 2, but I think I'm going to hold off on chapter 2 until next Friday. I may come to Wednesday night and just read chapter 2, because I want y'all just to think about this. Meditate on this chapter 1 of Jubilees. Play this over again and listen to the words that the Most High is saying. Listen to what he is predicted and what is going to be the everlasting salvation for us. And that's his law and his commandments. That's going to be our show for the day. My spirit is telling me to wrap it up right there. Y'all need to get into this Jubilees 1, understand the Most High, read Psalms 82 and 83, and understand where you are. I give all praise unto the Most High. This was a shorter show than I thought, but he told me to wrap it up. So we're wrapping it up on that one, and we're going to go into chapter 2 this week, no later than next Shabbat. All praise unto the Most High, man. Most High said, rest on this day. We went real heavy the last couple of weeks. Digest what we've said the last couple of weeks in this chapter 1. Get this into your understanding so that you're not left behind. All praise unto the Most High, man. Me shalom.